Alright, and we are good to go now that even got an image out of the game. We are ready to go for some transport planning in Cities in Motion 2. So let's see how we succeed with the first mission. Tried the game shortly before starting, so that actually know that the game A works at all. B still know somewhat how to play it. Used to play this very long ago, like when it was quite new a few times, and still remember enough to like get at least the buses working. So it's of course sufficient already in that respect to go in, like you know how to get on the buses. So should be sufficient to actually start playing and seeing what kind of trouble we end up in. So let's then. Oh, hello there, SFW, and always good to see you here, even if indeed started a bit later, as needed to first get image out of the game and take care of a few other things. So no problem at all. Let's move towards the game here. There we go, and see what happens with this overall. So let's start even campaign game here, and of course inspired by Europe, which sounds good already. We love tourists, which sounds even better. Inspired location, inspired by Liverpool, so it's kind of like Liverpool, but only inspired by it, which of course is much different from Liverpool. It's still apparently located in country inspired by Europe, inspired by the UK, most probably. So let's go there, and then we have as the loading screen, like people of course get aboard a tram, and as the queue goes, the game also is further loaded. Apparently only the very fat touristy looking people have a camera, so for some reason there's like limitation. At least these aren't probably procedurally generated, but rather pre-rendered, so you always have cameras only with the touristy looking a bit more heavy set types. And there's the really nice high-vis coloring for the last guy getting on a board. So alright, and here we go. We apparently have immediately a couple of missions. So let's see here what we need to accomplish in the missions in turn. So there are 2 missions waiting. How are you? I'm Annie Martins, a hotel entrepreneur. Tourism is an important part of the economy of our city. Make sure that all our citizens are well connected and the city grows and stays interesting for our tourists. So establish 15% coverage. Grow population 30%. That's a lot to ask, like. Then, hello, I'd like to ask a bit of favor, my friends, and I thought we might do a little sightseeing. We would really love to have new tourist lines. I'm sure that would make you a ton of money. That sounds like a good start. Gain 55% reputation among tourists. 90% completed, so before we have any transportation available, we already have that high a reputation. Of course, we should probably first concentrate on the what looks like the central business district. So let's build some bus lines here for like good start of the transportation. So of course we should consider where to put our bus lines and resources in that respect. So there's like good position most probably for the first bus depot. Somewhere on the edge of the map, once we can find a position where we can build one, of course. So for example here, so we have a bus depot, and let's add another one on the other side of the area. So now we should have depots for the buses to start from, and then we need to construct, of course, bus stops. Most probably here we can build, because this is quite densely built, we should build some without shelter, so they take space only for the. And when we think that the route starts from the depot, we should of course add stops at sufficient intervals catchment wise in the correct direction, like plan a bit how we would like to run our bus route along the beach, of course, first, so you get to see the beach nicely here, and then once we come to the side here, then turn like through here, maybe northwards. Then let's see, overall we have the bus line going down the beach. So let's then move back like around the downtown from here at least. Let's make here another to complete the loop in two parts, so we can do two runs on these from the different depots. Then we get back around this way and try to place the bus stops so that we have pretty good catchment area. Then we next have to see how much traffic we get, whether we have enough or large enough buses available. At least this is quite ambitious, like. Then the last one somewhere here possibly. Alright, now we should have like one round here, and then we need to add some more stops here for the other circle. So at least this is quite ambitious start with several bus lines. Yep, it's pretty much quite a few do make exactly that assumption, and it's kind of, for real transport networks, it's not really very much assumption that would hold true, but typically that's the case. depot. Let's then actually add some buses and actually try and get. So now we have possibility to create bus lines here. So now it must, of course, it even warns that it has to start from a depot. So first of all we add the depot here. So we have to add stops tool here, and then now we get the warning that line must start at the depot. Alright, and now we are then adding stops here onto the route. Alright, so we have considerable amount of stops here, and now we should then we have lines, so we should add some buses even, and we can get different ones. We of course have a good amount of money, so we would probably buy slightly bigger ones. So this has like service quality is pretty high for that, but let's buy this bus. So it has 18 seats, unlike we have 10 and 16 here, and you can get then of course much bigger ones, like nice double-decker ones also. Let's for now go for like a bit more moderate, and let's buy four of those. There we go. Then we should assign vehicles onto the line, if would still also alright. Now we should have a, yes, we do have a bus even moving, so let's see if we get any passengers onto the bus stops. At least the bus moves nicely in between the buildings. Ah, alright, hello there. Hello there, Doc Ivan and Camu. Hello there, Camu. How do you like transport? Cities in Motion 2 is the game, so we have been trying to put up some bus service tonight. So it is kind of, do you think, going somewhat depends, like uncertain if apparently we have transported one passenger, so at least we do have some passengers waiting even on the bus stops, so passengers are unhappy. That sounds familiar with buses, like how can your passengers ever be uncertain what makes the passengers unhappy here, but clearly passengers are unhappy. That somehow sounds familiar with transportation, like your passengers are not especially happy. Let's in the meantime create another bus line, so close that one and add stops to the second bus line, so we have the other depot on this side. Alright, that isn't like the best routing ever, because do think it's on the wrong side. Practically it's on the wrong side of the overall highway. So actually, if you set your bus depot here, you can't get to this part of the town, like almost in no practicable fashion. So let's see about doing something about that, like for example getting rid of that and trying with a different location, as you can't actually get from that part. Our other bus line has even now transported 5 passengers, so it's kind of slight increase visible, and here we have 3 passengers on board who are not unhappy, they are simply nondescript, so that's an improvement most probably. It's like your passengers are not unhappy, they simply are nondescript, so of course most probably improvement. That's pretty much true. One passenger in the bus. We already had 5, so that's already more mass transport. Waiting too long prices and silly things. That's pretty good. Pretty good, would say, overall description of the typical reasons for complaints on the buses. So would most probably agree. Alright, here we again have bus 1 with somewhat unhappy passengers, but in bus 2 it seems that we have 3 passengers who are not unhappy either, so possibly the starting time with the first bus took a bit longer. So we should place the depot now again, so that we can actually get to the correct side of the town even. So alright, we are able to place it on this side of the town anyway. So for example here, now we have much better possibility in that respect. And we most probably could add some bus stops also. Also on the more residential side of the town. Alright, and then we can add one here and make a line around this spot from the new depot also. Alright, now the bus line 1 has already transported 14 passengers today, so it's starting to look a bit more like mass transit. So let's then add the other line now that we have the depot in place. So we should again try with the line 2 and add stops. So now we have the more useful bus depot, and then we can start adding bus stops here. Alright, there we go. And then we need to also add some buses here. Let's buy the same style and four of them again. 4,000 isn't too bad when we have like still almost 100,000 left. Alright, these actually toggle visibility, so that was not quite what thought that would add those to the so we need to first of all move them to bus depot 2. So let's move the buses over, and now that they are in the depot 2, then we need to still somehow assign them to the line. Alright, we can also edit timetables in a lot of detail. Alright, you clearly know something about the bus, would say SFW. That would explain the passenger unhappiness very possibly then. Apparently then there is something not so desirable about that bus. Alright, let's see then how do we assign again. Alright, so alright, here we have transported all of 16 passengers, and we at least have vehicles running, so why not the case here? so still mildly confused how to actually get vehicles. Alright, so let's see about that again. So let's try that again then. So alright, so here the buses are. Buy vehicles, edit name. This opens the detail window for the bus. That shows vehicles running. 0, so we have four vehicles available and none of those seem to agree. They have just standing in bus depot too. And then we have vehicles running bus line 2. 0 out of 5, so alright. It was considerably easier, namely unpaused game. It was paused. No wonder. So unpaused game and it does exactly as you expected. It was paused for a while I wasn't sure about that. So thank you for help SFW, and we indeed found out what was the issue. So now we have buses running also on line 2. So in that respect this should be working much better now. Yeah, we now have a bus here. And the kind of like overall routing seems to be very interesting. We make a round around this apartment building, so alright, that was apparently up to the bus stop being here, so as the road seems to be laid so that you have to round the house to continue. Alright, now we even have 2 buses running, so it helped to allocate them and then unpause the game, so problem solved in that respect. So let's then see how our fancy 2 bus lines do before getting more up. So let's open the windows, like how many passengers they transport and what kind of expenses they have, and run the simulation a bit faster for like a couple of days to see how well these timetables and these bus lines are working, like how many passengers we transport. And at least the first one is kind of working quite well, because we actually have passengers transported, and it's even turning a bit of a profit this far. And here we are also getting somewhat more passengers transported. So and this would be Monday only. So let's see how it goes if we wait until Tuesday and see how many we actually transported during the day. Both lines have transported approximately the same number. Now that people apparently go back home from work, actually this has transported more towards the evening, as it went more through residential areas. So actually line 2 caught up and turned considerably more profit now if we look at the performance on Monday, because this transported 84.97. Alright, there's probably also some nightlife. Still at 21 we are getting somewhat more, so this might actually break out onto double digits, as we have now done 99 passengers. Yeah, 110, so actually that did very nicely. Alright, and now overall the second bus line did somewhat better, like during the day. So let's then... Bergwolf, hello there, thank you for the raid. Wow, thank you all and welcome. Thank you for the raid. We are playing Cities in Motion 2, so trying to solve transport issues, at least for some time still. Yeah, noticed that it's from Artiwolf, so thank you for the raid. And of course noticed Bergwolf first as they said raid, but yes, thank you for the raid and certainly welcome to all. And as mentioned, we are playing Cities in Motion 2 and trying to hopefully solve transport problems. So more waves to everyone, and let's also put a big picture for a while so you get better view of the Fursuit proper here and get a nice wave. So welcome all raiders, and we are still trying to, yeah, we will be seeing soon, and we'll be actually taking this suit to the convention the first time that this suit actually goes out, much other than smaller events and the ferry cruise. So also in that respect should be nice that we'll take the partial out the first time at any bigger event. So indeed also really looking forward to seeing you Bergwolf. So great to have you here. And indeed we are playing the Cities in Motion 2, where we try to make transport usable. So we have like a couple of bus lines this far and have been discussing good and less good buses, and also some of the passengers seem to be unhappy at times, but at least we have gotten pretty good amounts of passengers transported and not like totally making a loss with the buses. So let's wait until it's a bit brighter again, and probably build more bus lines to account for the area still missing coverage. We can most probably view like the, yes, we are turning a bit of a profit. We can most probably view coverage here, yes. So the yellow areas have coverage by bus and none have coverage with the other currently. So one line covers some parts of the city, especially here. We should add coverage most probably. Here we are missing like maybe a couple of stops more. So this part would be of the larger parts of the city. Then we have the smaller or like residential area here, and even more here and here. So according to data we should put a few more stops in, and we have an additional quest apparently. I represent the Modern Ladies Association, and on behalf of my fellow women I would like to make a request. We have several small offices located around the city in order to be easily accessible to all the good folk engaged in their daily battle for equality or rights. Our good suffragists or such, so most probably they want suffrage or something else. It would be invaluable to our cause if all our offices were linked by a direct line. Then our employees could move easily from office to office as needed. Build one line between office building and office building. Kind of like if they reward 3,000, most probably not going to compared to the other ones here, which are kind of 15% coverage. So most probably not going to separately build a direct line between. Let's see where the office buildings are even located at. Alright, there's one. It's pretty close to an existing bus stop. There's another. Alright. It's also very close to an All three are actually close to existing bus stops, so we could technically maybe actually make that happen. But still kind of do not find the mission totally interesting. So let's for now reject this, as kind of do think that direct line to those would not be very very profitable overall. So we have two lines currently and should increase coverage in areas shown without. So let's first deal with that and take the coverage view again for bus. So we should especially add more stops here. We do have one stop there, but that's actually a bus because we are in pause mode. So let's add stops. Alright, we have some extra stops here. Also there could be one somewhere around here. Let's see how our coverage area, then we need to of course have actual traffic for them. So let's see about adding another bus line, and also let's see if we can make the picture mildly like brighter, because it's not very visible to some degree, and of course there are no settings at all for that, so it is what it is with the So let's see about adding another bus line. So we should add the kind of ones that we are not serving yet, so meet the other line here and then cross proceed. Proceed back to the depot, and we now have already a vehicle also on bus line 3. So we should probably get a couple more buses. To the depot, so let's buy some more, a few more buses, so now we have more buses available, so we shouldn't miss the scheduled departures as easily. So we should get better service in that respect. Now we should of course see how bus line 3 is doing. Passengers transported 6, alright, not yet, at least very mentionably. And we again have somebody asking something. Hello, I believe you might be able to help me. I've been trying to keep in contact with one of our CIA agents, but we are running out of places we can meet inconspicuously. A bus line would be perfect. No one would suspect two people would just happen to be traveling on the same bus, don't you say? Could you help us? Build one bus line between hypermarket and pavilion. Alright, there's the hypermarket, which is on very different part of the. Alright, this we can actually do, because we do not have any activity at all in this part of the map, so let's do it. Add one depot here. There we go. Then we need to add a bus stop here. And then we add another bus stop right outside the hypermarket. There we go. And where else we can then return by this side, so by the big street. Then we can return to the so nice loop here, and then we just need to create the line, and of course purchase vehicles in the depot. Let's get 4 buses also here. Oh, hello there, Doc Ivan again. And thank you for joining. It's indeed great to see you. Would say that have been mostly pretty well. Pretty well, so nothing too bad. We ran Finfer Animus and that went mostly well, despite the rather high temperatures and a few technical issues. But otherwise, Finfer Animus went great and was very nice with the new, very scenic hotel location. So was also pleased in that respect. Otherwise, also would say doing well. Packing tomorrow and day after tomorrow for East. We are going again to East in the Ringberg Hotel also in a couple of days. So actually convention season very much and taking this suit for East first time like larger convention with this parcel. So should be fun also in that respect. And of course you also get a wave and even in the big picture of course, considering your amount of support you have given this one very often. So always pleased to see you and happy to greet you. And indeed we have been playing Cities in Motion 2, where you try to build various like bus, tram, metro and such lines to provide transport. And we were asked, like the CIA asked, like of course nobody suspects people in the bus, please make a bus line in this part of the map. So we are getting that accomplished here. So let's create a new bus line with the depot here and then probably best to start in this direction. If we start from here, it takes a bit of detour. Yeah, not very good, so we should most probably first go this way and then wind towards here. Then we go to the hypermarket, as it's been mentioned. Then we drive back the other side. And finish back at the depot, so that's at least one possible route, and we have vehicles available, so yes, now we have traffic even there, so that should be now possible. Alright. Hello there, Ticatron, and no problem, Doc Ivan. Thank you for dropping by, and of course have a good nap. Then you get the wave, and then we of course switch back to the game. Apologies for the slightly larger view of the shooter, even if do suspect that many viewers didn't mind that much. So discussion on traffic matters. So now that we even have the game again bigger and we have buses moving through here, let's see, like, does this fulfill the task? Like, do we also have the pavilion stop on the route? Apparently not, so actually we need to fix that. So let's change this a bit, remove the depot and visit here. So now we actually have all the necessary stops to hopefully fulfill this. So we should have everything necessary for the mission on the overall route. So let's then see about whether we can finish this, but it's mostly now about up to having the bus go through, which has transported this far 0 passengers, so that won't produce much profit because it was like the other end of the map. It's not even directly connected up to here. Let's see, the lines 1 and 2 are actually line 3 at least isn't making much of a profit, like 13 passengers, so clearly not totally optimal. So most probably we should see if we can change the order a bit further on. Probably let's see the coverage map, which is a bit better. We still should have more coverage, like here. Are there even any stops here? Apparently not. Alright, and then we have, well, hello there, Phil's the name, and I can't wait to share with you our new promotional campaign. Cheaper than tacos. All trolleybuses purchased right now are currently eligible for partial refund. We are not currently getting trolley buses in any case. And act now and you'll also receive a single multi-purpose oven mitt. We are not at least getting trolley buses right now, which is more expensive and specialized, and we are not doing that well even with the normal buses, so very probably no trolley buses needed yet. And there we have the bus lines, so we should see especially about line 3. Do think that can we integrate that with the rest, as it seems that the line 3 isn't giving much in terms of passengers, at least yet. So it is kind of seems that line 3 should at least be inspected if it can be combined with the others, but looks otherwise like it's quite hard to make it out, at least this way. You can make the other lines actually not visible, so alright, that covers quite a bit of ground also for line 3. So no wonder there are more passengers. Let's see, like a couple of days again. The faster rate does actually line 3 improve any. And how is line 4 actually doing? All of 10 passengers, 12 passengers this far, but at least they are increasing a bit, so we actually have some passengers also using those. So we should most probably here keep going with those for now and see if we fulfill the mission conditions. Then we of course have a few other locations needing transport. Here we have quite a few. Then there's the part beyond the river, where we at least have a nice proper bridge, unlike some locations. So we can expand here and run buses on the bridge, for example, further, so that of course also helps. And we are slightly in the negative, but it's considering the amount of expansion, it's still alright, especially with that kind of situation funds wise to run some into the negative also, but let's again wait until it dawns, so it's easier to see, especially in Fursuit where to construct. And if we look at the coverage through data, we still do not have total coverage here, but there's nothing, so we should consider some bus service also. So these areas have no transport connectivity, which means they would be mostly then doing private automobiles. So in that respect, the game even has an achievement that you do not have a private auto traffic for 48 hours to think so. Also in that respect a bit different, that you actually can get an achievement for that. So let's see until the overall map is getting brighter. There we go, it's dawning again, so we can build some connections here more easily. There should be a road. Yes, there's a road in between these, so yes, we need to place the depot also here. Alright, there we go. And then we can put out stops and get the bus moving also here. And do think after we have finished that, it is also early morning tomorrow, so we'll see finish here after close to the usual 1.5 hour after we have laid out this bus line. So let's start adding stops. So let's try to take into account the direction of travel, because that's explicitly stated. So we need to set the stops for the whole round, of course. There we go. So there we go for more stops. One more into there, and now we have a nice overall round, so we can create a new line again and go for that. Oh, hello there, varios. Motor carriage, or maybe motor omnibus. So, hello to you, and we are just finishing this bus line and then checking who we can raid as. Also, it's been almost the usual 1.5 hours and should also sleep some for tomorrow. I started a bit later than originally wanted to be trying to get a picture out of the game and also observe that with the day-night cycle in the game it gets a little bit less than well visible. And let's check, can we disable it from settings. Increased night brightness. Alright, there was even a setting for that, which clearly helped with visibility both for the fursuiter and most probably for the stream. So actually that was very useful improved contrast. So let's see about getting this bus line still in order. So new line at stop. Then we first, of course, at the depot. And start doing the round. Looks nice. Alright, and then we rejoin with the depot, so we have complete bus line now. Let's open the depot window and purchase about 4 buses. And now we have buses out on that route also. Let's see how well it does. Speeding up time some, let's see. And we do have the buses in place, so let's see, 2 passengers this far. Sounds like a promising start, especially considering the operating expenses like transport 2 passengers. Then we should have altogether separate kind of like a connecting line, so let's purchase a couple of slightly bigger buses. And then we should get the new so now we have the buses moving, and then we should add stops to make the kind of mini line that connects. It's kind of inflexible that we always need to start at the depot, so we can practically take the stop there, and take the stop there, then return. Or it's actually even better style-wise that we start from the depot, come to the other side and then return. So we have kind of a connecting bus going back and forth over that bridge. So let's see how well that works. That works out also. And then do think that we save the game and see who we can raid for tonight. So thank you for joining us on the buses. So let's save this as there we go, Spectra 1, and we now do have buses going here and also back and forth between these two, so that should also improve the overall transport situation already, as we are reaching for like certain area covered, if you remember the quests from the beginning of the game. So let's return here, and first of all wish you all a good night and thank you for joining for some transport construction. We got a lot of buses already going after some bewilderment about why they didn't start, and it proved that the game was in pause mode, so that was not totally unexpected. And indeed, thank you for the raid once again, Mr. Artie Wolf. It's always good to see you and your community here also. So this one once again raise a paw in thanks for that. And then we see who we might raid tonight. We also got the raiding party achievement from last night for raiding 100 times with more than 2 for viewers. So it was actually really nice to get the achievement too. Alright, Nero Husky is playing Mass Effect, so let's see if they are still playing. It's been a while and there aren't that many online tonight, so let's see if Nero is still playing. And maybe go there. Yes, they are, so let's... Alright, Nero even has a nice, like, Mass Effect themed shirt on the VTube avatar, so clearly they have put some effort into the... Yeah, see you at Eastburg. Will be very nice to see you, so let's raid Nero, and thank you all for joining tonight for some transportation on the buses, and we'll see you potentially tomorrow, depending on how the evening goes. We might play some old MTG. It's been a while since I've played the MTG game, the older Magic Duels, so let's go for the raid. Thank you once again for the earlier raid, and thank you all for joining. Good night. Let's see, so right, it has even an underscore. Even better with the underscore. Of course, typing in Fursuit is really totally optimal, so there we go. That should be, yes, that's correct. Thank you once again and good night.